Safe and Sound, sponsored by White Mountain Fire and Life Safety. Today on the show, we have Raul Reyes and DJ Brimhall, firefighters from Timber Mesa Fire and Medical. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Good. So today we're going to talk about firefighter physical fitness and health, correct?
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today.
All right, so take it away then. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this kind of came up. We're going back to Indianapolis. Yeah, we're going back to Indianapolis into April, kind of in that area, to the National Fire Chiefs Association to do actually a competition of firefighter fitness. So this goes on for about 3 days. The whole week is fire chiefs go back, view trucks, learn about EMS, learn about all kinds of these things. But we're going back to actually compete against other firefighters. In the realm of fitness, so kind of cool what we get to do.
Okay, now when you say fitness, I mean competing with other firefighters. Is this the fire mustered? Isn't that what it's called, a muster?
Yeah, so it's not quite fire mustered. What actually it is it's functional movement. So everything we do relates to our job in the fire service. So dragging people out, maybe dragging hoses, pushing sleds. Doing air squats, picking things up over our shoulders, simple movements that we do each and every day at the fire service in our job. That's really big for us.
Oh, wow. So is it kind of like they're going to have some kind of a, what do they call those, set up like you go through it, an obstacle course, or?
No, it's not an obstacle course. What they do end up doing is it's just they'll have different things that you have to do. You might have to do pull-ups and push a sled in one workout. You may have to climb a rope or pull a sled. So it's just going to be different competitions on how that works.
And this is alongside other ones, or is this everybody team goes at one time, or?
So there's usually, we expect there to be about 100 teams of about 3 members per team. So each team has a master's athlete, so over 40, another male athlete, and then a female athlete, or they're also firefighters. So what they consist of a crew. So they expect to be at least 100 teams working out. So we do this in, they'll do it in sequence. So 10 teams will be working out at one time to compete against each other, and then we all stack up. And there's all kinds of, like Elkhart Brass is one of our big sponsors there. So that's a big firefighter company. Rogue Fitness is another company that sponsors. So there's a lot of big sponsors. There's a lot of opportunity to not only get firefighter fitness out, but also, how important it is for us to be in shape and also be firefighters at the same time.
What qualified Timber Mesa to take part in this?
So it was a submission of an application.
Okay.
Myself, like I said, I've done this. This is going to be my 3rd time going to the firefighter throwdown. DJs have done this 4 times, and it's just you submit your application and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of this concept that shows what we're trying to do to better ourselves to help other firefighters see what they can be at.
Now, but this is an extreme of working out, correct? I mean,
yeah, this is on a pretty high level. It's not like the same as like fire mustered. They do the stair climb, they do some different things. This is another kind of concept based off of functional fitness, where we're there and we're competing with other guys in the same realm. But these are guys from big cities. So we got New York, we've met guys from Chicago, we've met guys from Hawaii, from Canada. There's teams that come from all over to compete in this. So it is big, and there's definitely some value to it. We make a little money. We get to put our name, Timber Mesa on the map about firefighter fitness. It's cool to see. So.
Yeah, that is awesome. Now I know that sometimes you have humbugs out there and say, "This is my taxpayers' money going towards this." So let's just clear that right now.
It's a good question. I mean, none of the money that we're using to go there is being used or is being contributed by our fire departments. This is all funded by ourselves. We're doing fundraisers right now. We have a couple of things that we're out doing. We've done raffles in the past, and again, it's just pure contributions by our friends, family, and other businesses throughout the White Mountains.
How much money do you have to raise?
So last year we sent back 4 of us, and it was about $4,000. This year we're sending back 6, so we're About $600 to $6,500 is what we're looking to raise.
And have you been close or?
Yeah, we've already got a good start. We
good.
have some very good community members of that here. Guy Hatch from Sholo Ford. It's always a great donation. Cell One does awesome for us. Tony Mural from Embellish Printing also does a good job. CrossFit Sholo. We have multiple sponsors that definitely help us out. So
to
also
help you out, if somebody sees this and they want to be a sponsor, who do they reach out to?
So they can reach out to me. It's probably the easiest. They can find my name on Facebook. They can get hold of me through just the Timber Mesa Fire District number is 537-5100, and we can go through there. Again, Timber Mesa, we're just supporting the name. This is the district we work for, but they do not, they don't contribute to our going. We have to take our own time off. We take our own personal leave. We're just there to sponsor ourselves as well as, give our district a name. So.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that it will.
And it's been pretty good. Like I said, the last 3 years that I've been, they haven't had more than, say, 2 people from a particular department. This year, we're sending 5 of us from this department. So that's a huge number for us.
Absolutely, that's a big show. When you guys get there, you'll have that group, and the name will stick out a little bit more. So how are you picked to do this? Do people? I mean, I know that you guys put in the application, but at the department, isn't there like people in a line going, "I want to do this, I want to do this," or I mean.
You would hope that is that way. But when we go to kind of the other element of our daily life in the firehouse is, each of us, we have a responsibility first to our community of being in shape and being healthy and required to do those things. But, a lot of us go, I think the few people that actually want to go take it to the extremes. We want to go, not exactly extremes, but we take it above and beyond because this is our life. This is our responsibility. Our job is to save someone or to save ourselves. So to be able to do that, we have to be in the top physical condition. And then we're able to actually show our skills and show our physical condition at this really big stage of the International Fire Chiefs Association. So
now, is this going to be live so people can support and watch? Or?
On their website, on the firefighterthrowdown.usa, they will have it on live on there. They
that's
have
awesome.
a video that goes through, and they'll show all the events. Again, like DJ was saying, is that our job is to make sure that we're going home safe along with our crew. And so we take that step a little bit further outside of work. I mean, we're required to work an hour a day PTing at the station per shift, or 2 hours, I'm sorry. And then, so outside of work is where we do most of our training for this type of event. So, we're going either 5-6 days a week, sometimes 7, depending on how active we are.
And that's awesome because it's also an inspiration to other people to, hey, I need to get physically fit for my job. And, if those guys can do it, I can meet them somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's definitely all we're hoping. We're definitely hoping. I mean, there was I think there was a big change, and you also know this in the fire service in the early 2000s. There's a big change for everybody kind of starting to get in shape. Firefighters, we die from. Our number one cause is, heart attacks. We die from heart attacks. Our second thing that we get injuries on are, back sprains, injuries, things like that. So a lot of that comes from our fitness. A lot of that comes from our diet. So to be able to make that change in the early, kind of mid 2000s now, and we're in 2016, the change has actually been huge. The guys in our department, there's a lot of guys that are taking it to, I wouldn't even say that's above and beyond now. I'd say that's the norm to stay in shape, that's our job, that's our career, it's our life when it comes down to it. So really, it's been really good. It's been good for our department to realize how important, training is as far as physical training, and then how important it is to actually eat correct, and have proper nutrition.
Chicken and broccoli, peanut butter, protein pancakes. What is this?
So Allie and I would go a little back. She's been on my shifts. She knows. She's
lunchbox this big.
Yeah, I came in bringing the lunchbox or the plastic bag, but it did translate to other people doing the same thing, and to get us all on the same page of eating chicken and eating good meals at night together, and eating a healthy breakfast together. That's big in the fire service because we're there together. A third of our lives,
absolutely.
And it's not just for the fire service to being, we don't want to just be really good in our job. We want to continue to be good after our career is over. So we want to continue this fitness trend, through our retirement. You know, you see a lot of guys, especially in the fire service, retire, they get cancer, they have other health problems, and they can't enjoy their retirement. So our main goal is, you know, if we can be fit all the way through our retirement, we'd like to, you know, through our career, we'd like to carry that on to retirement. So,
and you're
nice.
changing the culture, bringing more people in by doing this as a
just them being out there seeing us. Like I said, I know that on my crew, when it's during the springtime, summer times, we actually do 2-a-days. We'll go out and do cardio during the daytime, and we usually go to the Show Low High School. During that time that we've done that, we've actually had the community actually come out there and do it with us, which is
cool.
It's a great thing for the community. They're like, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we're going to run a few laps or do some minor exercises, some push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, or whatever it may be, and then just to have the community come in and start doing it with you, that is a huge thing. Like I said, again, what we're trying to do is lead by example.
And you're doing a dang good job of it.
And just by doing that, like I said, it's great. Just to see the smiles on the kids' faces that we go out and sometimes we'll play a little basketball, so to speak. It's not, but just to be out in the community to help.
And be a part of that, you know, inspiration to all and that change, because it is a culture change. My husband and I just took it on, and I've lost 25 pounds from my pregnancy weight just by not eating sugar.
Yeah,
Just anything with sugar. It's just like, that was easy. It's not, I'm not satisfied yet. Chicken doesn't do it for me, but that's what I eat.
Yeah.
But it is important, and then you do reduce the risk of hurting yourself, because an injury in the fire service could take you out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then what do you do?
We've all been there. We all see it. You know, light duty is a big risk as far as financially to our fire department. So, you know, to be able to limit those risks is everything we can do. So being physically fit is a huge part of the fire service. You know, I think there was that back in the 1990s. There was, you know, we were out of shape. We were, you know, this is our job. This is our life. You know, it's not just to save the person in a building house, but we might have to save our friend. We might have to save ourselves. So to be able to do that, we have to go above and beyond. We have to really take it.
Like you said, you're saving yourself for life.
Yeah.
And that's important. So you guys, congratulations on getting into this competition. I wish you guys all the best in your entire team and a safe trip. And thank you so much for coming on here and letting us know about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you, Allison.
Thank you for watching Safe and Sound, and we'll be up next with Kirk Webb. Kirk Webb, the Community Risk Manager from Timber Mesa Fire and Medical. Welcome to the show, Kirk.
Glad to be here. How are you doing?
Good, good. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's great. We love doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important information to get out to everybody. So let's start off with, we're going to discuss a little bit about the fire situation that has been during the winter time.
Oh yeah, this whole winter season, it's been crazy. We've had a lot of home fires and other fires like that, and it's just been worse than normal, it seems like. Mm-hmm. You know, whether they've been faulty fireplaces or chimney fires, and those are kind of common. The faulty fireplaces maybe not so much, but we've had some interesting fires. Cooking fires, you know, people still, you know,
just leaving it on the stove and walking away?
That, or honestly, I don't know, but it started on the kitchen stove, and you know, and we had one where it actually set off the sprinkler system, and
oh dear.
But the sprinkler system saved, you know, the structure and
did what it was supposed to do.
And more so than that, it saved these persons, you know, because would they have been burned seriously if the sprinkler had not gone off? And
wow.
You know, it was very obvious that the sprinkler went off very early on in the process of this fire going up the wall, because you could see the little tiny smoke trail leading right up to the sprinkler head, and one sprinkler head goes off, puts the whole fire out. So the people made it out of the house alive.
Wow.
So that's what's important. That's where sprinklers are important.
Saved by smoke detector or sprinklers now. That's the first time I've heard like a home saved by sprinklers.
Yeah, it's actually happened a few times in the past several years, and you know, some of our apartment complexes have these sprinklers in there, and same thing. One was they were making fry bread, and it caught on fire, and set the sprinkler off, things like that. So, yeah, it's. I know contractors are usually the ones that give us the hardest time about sprinklers are not, good or anything like that. They don't, but they do save lives, and they're
And a
not,
home.
Yeah, and it's not a common thing to see it, but that's where we would like to change that culture, and we want to see sprinklers in the homes become more widely used. And I know if I ever decided to build a house again, I'm going to put sprinklers in there.
Absolutely.
Just a nice peace of mind. And the question is, well, it freezes up here in the wintertime and we're not going to be there. It's like, well, if you do it right, you can insulate it. It'll keep from freezing, and you protect your house in the other way you winterize it. Okay, so
It's the same thing.
It's exactly. So there's ways to go about that, but sprinklers do save lives.
That's awesome.
And now we're starting to get into that season of changing from winter and home fires and home heating fires and things like that to going into wildland season.
Yeah.
We live in the forest. So, and last year we had a lot of moisture, rain, and things like that. So our vegetation has grown. So it's now time to go back and trim it back again and clean up the needles and everything else, the debris that's on the ground.
While the wildland fire risk is low, because it is
Exactly.
currently.
Yeah, because we still do allow open burning, debris burning, for around your home because it can get expensive to haul it off to the dump. But there are a few places that will take the green waste, what they call it, tree branches and pine needles and things like that. They don't want trash mixed in with it, but it's got to be
absolutely not.
all pure tree limbs and things like that. So, but sometimes they're not accessible too, or they may shut down for taking stuff at a time. But
Well,
usually,
and if people want to burn that stuff, they can come and get a burn permit.
right, and we've actually even tried to make that process of getting a burn permit easier. You can go online. Go to our website, and you can get your burn permit all online. You don't even have to come into the office anymore. So now, every once in a while, we have a little glitch with the computers and
With IT, really?
I know it's well, and so the system might be down, but so you can still come in at the station at that point. And some people don't have computers or don't have internet, and so.
And this is for the district of Lakeside, Area Wagon Wheel, Show Low, Linden?
Yep, correct.
And if they know that they're on county land, then they go to the county for it, and the county has it online, I think, or does it matter?
If they're not within our fire district boundaries, they need it, and if they're within a fire district boundary, regardless of the fire district, they would go to that fire district for their permit. So like if you live in Pine Top Fire has, but the thing that's nice, even the county, our permit, Pine Top's permit, it's all identical. It just has a different logo on the top.
Okay.
So it's the exact same rules, and we've
Same
done
number to
that.
Call?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the county might have a different number. I can't remember if they do or not.
I don't remember.
But even if they call ours, it's pretty good general. And that's mostly used for the be able to know whether it's an okay day to burn or not, because this time of year the winds start picking up, and if the winds get over 10 miles an hour, even if we've set it as an okay day to burn and the winds pick up, we still expect you to put your fire out because the wind's greater than what the permit allows. And a permit allows only 3 by 3 by 3 size piles to be burned at a time, and that's more so for safety and for not making a nuisance to the neighbors and things like that.
Definitely.
I mean,
Neighbors.
yeah, people probably don't realize how quickly a fire can get out of control. And, and I mean, over this, I know we've had some early brush fires this year. One was from a weed burner, and the guy was out just burning weeds, and it got away from him, took like 27 acres. And it happened really quick. So people just don't realize that, I can do this safely. And but what other precautions? Have you put in fire break lines and things like that? Most people don't think about that.
Well, and then you bring up a good point. Most people don't think about the stuff, and one of the reasons you have the red tag, green tag thing is to help them think about these things, right?
Exactly. We send our guys out, and this year we're looking at focusing on areas that are more at risk from the threat of a wildfire. So that's typically going to be the areas along the western edge, along where the reservation boundary meets up with the city and town and county boundaries, and because there's still a lot of heavy vegetation. Most of the areas in the middle of town, in the middle of the city, it's, you know, there we're more at a threat from a house catching on fire, then catching the vegetation on fire, than the other way around. So where we've got those canyons that are still forested areas coming up out of the reservation or the Forest Service properties, which both of them have done a good job of thinning out in their areas, but there's some areas that still could use some work. We got a lot of vacant properties that you know, along that what they call a rim, and the rim road, and that's heavily forested. And you know, I know a lot of people, I've heard the comment, well, I expect a forest where you can't even see through it. Well, that's not a healthy forest. That is a very unhealthy forest, and it helps make those conditions ripe for a wildfire. And if that fire has plenty of fuel to burn, now the intensity is much greater and causes more of a danger to the homes within those areas.
Well, and then the ladder fuels too.
Exactly.
Causing it to be a fast fire that you can't control.
Right. And what I've found is a lot of people don't know where to start. And so that's kind of where we come up with our red tag, green tag program. And it gives some basics of, and it's just a list. In fact, the red tag and the green tag read pretty much identically the same. Except for down towards the bottom. The red, if you get a red tag, it's going to say your home is a little more at risk, and these are some items you need to work on. The green tag says you're doing a pretty good job, but keep it up because we still live in a forest and it still grows. Yeah. So, you know, but the list is of what to do. You know, cleaning, and some of the simple things, cleaning rain gutters and the needles off of your roof. That's huge right there. And making sure that first 15 to 30 feet away from your home, it has no combustible debris around it. You know, rake that part back clear down to bare dirt or cinders or concrete or whatever, so something that's non-combustible. If you have a deck or a porch that there's a space, especially kind of a small space that you can't really crawl under, seal that up to where no trash and debris can go in there, because what we found where a lot of homes have been lost in wildfires is because you can get embers that'll fly from a forest fire miles away from the actual fire itself. And those embers are going to go right where the wind takes it. And where does the wind love to take trash and debris and everything? Right under your porch. And so underneath that porch, now you got a whole bunch of trash and debris if it's never been cleaned, or it's not sealed off to where stuff can't get in there. And now you got an ember, which is your heat source. Now you got a whole bunch of trash and debris under there, which is now your fuel source, and you got lots of oxygen all around it. So
you're going to have a fire.
Exactly. That's a combination. Those are three things you need for a fire.
And nobody wants to lose their home.
And fires, you know, and usually those porches, you know, they're closer to ground, so they start deteriorating much faster than other areas of your home. Or was it built out of more fire-wise safe type products? You know, if it was, then it's probably going to survive a wildfire a little bit better than wood that's been there for years and years and is starting to fall apart and starting to rot, because that wood now catches on fire rather easily.
Yeah, and the whole point of what you guys are doing at Timber Mesa Fire and Medical is just giving the opportunity for homeowners to have a chance at saving their home, to have a chance at knowing how to do that, especially with the Ready, Set, Go program that you guys will be rolling out here shortly. When does the Ready, Set, Go usually start?
You know, and we basically have just kind of offered that up to, we'll probably do a few community meetings with that. And the Ready, Set, Go is just education. It's a little, about a 30-minute to an hour presentation. A lot of it just depends on how much questions there are from the public and how long it takes to answer those questions.
Okay, so if somebody wants to have that presentation, who would they contact? Yeah,
they just contact me. Get with and even Kelly at Pine Top Fire, he does the same program. I think a lot of the other fire districts around, and I think even over on the other side of the mountain, Greer, Springerville, Eager, Alpine, those guys are wanting to do the same kind of program, and they have that available to them.
Awesome.
So if they're not advertising it, get with them, and we're more than
Request it.
helping to share that with them as too, to help them out where they can. So
Awesome.
but yeah, just make contact with any of us.
And we'll put your information
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
after this so they can see it. But Kurt, thank you so much. It's so much information, but thank you so much, and we'll definitely have you on again when we get closer to Wildland to talk a little bit more about the safety of that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and for watching Safe and Sound, and we'll see you next month.